I have a couple friends that are going to help me do this training this morning, and they'll actually introduce themselves when they come up. But yeah, I just wanted to, before I invite Peter up here to talk, just like what we're doing this morning is gospel conversation training. So at some level, all of you are here because you want to have gospel conversations with people, and you want to share Jesus with people. And a lot of times we think that we're disqualified to do that because either God hasn't made us, the evangelist that we see in the Bible to do it, or we just think I don't have that gifting. That's not who I am. But in the spiritual, in our spiritual life, there are a lot of things that we just need to grow in, and just recognize that we're not where we want to be yet, but that's okay. We need to just have the mindset of that we can grow and mature in that direction of being more comfortable sharing our faith and praying for people. And that's my story. I mean, I went overseas to share the gospel with people, and we were doing good things, but it wasn't until I learned a lot of what we're talking about today that I had just a newfound ability and desire, and I had to grow. I had to do a lot to grow in that, and it took a lot of time, but that's okay. So be comfortable. Like, it might take some practice, but it's what you're going to learn today is really going to help you sharing your faith and making disciples. So Peter's going to come up and just do our next part here. But yeah, just really thank you guys for being here this morning.
My name's Peter. Like you said, I'm from the Peoria area. I might share a couple other random parts of my story as we go along, but actually with the same org that Danny's with, E3 Partners, just do a lot of training and how to share the gospel. What do you do next? That always terrified me for a long time. But what we want to talk about today, we're going to do a couple things to just kind of set the stage before we get into the meat of it. So we want to talk really quick about training versus teaching. And both are really important. Okay, we're gonna do some teaching today, and I'm so thankful for all sorts of great teaching that happens in the church. And when we talk about teaching, we're generally talking about passing on knowledge. There's something that you don't know. That's maybe why you subscribe to a new podcast or grab a sermon on YouTube. We hope that's why you want to come learn on a Sunday morning from the message, right? It's to pick up something you don't know. When we talk about training, which is a little bit more, we'll do a little bit of teaching, but a lot of what we're going to focus on today, like Danny said, is developing some things we maybe aren't great at. We're talking about skills, something we need to grow in, right? And how do you grow in any skill? Well, just like 2 weeks ago, my oldest got his driver's license, 16. Yeah. So do you think I had him drive me once around the block and I was like, sweet, Jackson, we're good to go. Don't even need to take it. No, we did a lot of practice, right? And the state of Illinois, thankfully, could blame them. Don't have to be the mean dad. Makes you drive 50 hours with your young kid. But what we did there is we practiced when we wanted him to pick up the skills of driving. Yes, he had some knowledge to learn, but it's the skills. And another way we could say that is we got repetitions or reps. You could use the same thing when you talk about playing a sport, right? You actually have to practice. You have to get the reps in to get better at it. So we'll see. He gets to drive his brother to drive his brother to a basketball practice today. So hopefully it goes well, because I have the other family car up here. So it'll be trouble if not. But we're going to do that. So what we'll do throughout the day is we'll actually hit pause and we'll have you turn to somebody next to you. You can call them your training buddy, or if there's 3 at a table, that's fine too, to kind of do it in a group of 3. Although some of them it'll be better to pair off. So we'll just figure that out as we go. But we actually are going to you'll be like, what are we doing? It's like we're going to literally practice exactly what you saw on the board, because we want to develop some of those skills. We want to get the reps in to be better at it. So to start, what I want you to do, though, is have you just find a training buddy, and we're going to ask 2 questions. What do you hope to learn today? So that's a pretty easy one, maybe, or it can be open-ended, whatever. What do you want to pick up from today? What are you hoping to gain from today? And then this one I do want you to think about is, how many lost people are in your area? So I say area because I want it to be specific to you. Okay, who each one of you is that? Maybe just your neighborhood. Maybe it's the I've heard a couple smaller towns that some of you are from. Maybe it's this whole county. Maybe it is the city of Kewanee. But what would you say, just thinking about it, what you know of people you've met, how many lost people are in your area? So go ahead and turn to that training buddy or again at a table with a group of 3 and answer those 2 questions. What are you hoping to learn today? And how many lost people are in your area? Go for it.